In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Hello. My name is Father Jean-Marie. We said I am a Jesuit and part of this station today. Just a quick note about my clothing. I have the broad brim hat, which is very common in the area, and the era that I portray. I have also the very long robe that goes all the way down to the ground. And I also carry a golden watch. And not far from me, usually in my hand, I would have the rosary that I just used to bless you all. So, what brings me here? Well, in the 16th and 1700s, in Europe was expanding, and throughout the world, the Spanish and the Portuguese went to South America. The English and the French wanted a part of the action, so they came to North America, and the French came to what it was known later on as New France. Why were religious people involved? Well, while people wanted to get riches and wanted to get money, there was also a big push to evangelize, to proclaim the gospel to non-Christian people. So there was a lot of orders created for that purpose with the mission as missionary in mind. Mine was created too at that time. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So the goal was to proclaim the gospel to non-Christian, was also to bring non-Christian into the love and the light of Jesus. That was the main goal. So they would be saved. So as many people would be saved in the world, so at the end we will all be living with Christ. So my particular order, the order of Jesuits, was founded in 1540 by Ignatius of Loyola. He was an ex-military, very important person. So, and through the years, and that order was very specialized. It took 15 years to become a Jesuit, did a lot of studies. So the Jesuits were extremely learned people. Jesuits come from the two words, Society of Jesus. So beside my name, I always sign my name, Father Jean-Marie Wissel, S.J. That stands for Society of Jesus. Thank you. And that means I'm part of that movement. So very learned. Took 15 years from the time I decided to become a Jesuit to the time I'm actually go on the field and evangelize people. What brought me my order to North America? Well, the Récollets were the first ones to come and evangelize the non-Christian people of North America, but they never had the manpower and the number of people, a number of priests to fully tackle the task. So they asked, my order has been newly formed and very, very, very much attached to the working with the Pope. So they asked us to get involved and to help. So through the year, we actually came. We actually came in 1611. That's when the first Jesuit crossed the Atlantic and arrived at Port Royal in Nova Scotia. Okay, so we came. And then we started slowly start to establish ourselves. Eventually, we had the monopoly of the evangelization of the native people and whoever was non-Christian. Now, another key date, especially when we talk about the Sault Ste. Marie area, you'll have the coming of Etienne Brûlé in 1632. Etienne Brûlé had been the one young man that had been working with Champlain, and Champlain had sent him with the native people to learn the language and to learn about the area. And Champlain used his knowledge to create maps. Champlain worked a lot with us, the Jesuits. So the first time he came here, this area was called Bowatin, to a place of gathering, and he named it the Sault de Gaston. Gaston was the brother of the French king at the time. That's good. That stayed the same. So, backtrack a little bit. As of 1625, the Jesuits, we start to get ready. So it means that we start to evangelize people. So now we're gone from Port-Royal. We're in another part of New France, Quebec City, with the Quebec province for now. And we start to teach the gospel to the native population. And we feel ours. And there's things which we try different techniques. Some work, some don't work. But we're trying to slowly take importance. Now, back to the Sioux. We're in 1667. Now, how did the present river got his name? Well, the present river got his name because of a Jesuit father, because of a father of my order. His name was Claude Alouez. In 1607, he named the city, the river, Saint Mary's to the river. So he's the one that gave the name Saint Mary's. So, la rivière Sainte-Marie or Saint Mary River. In 1668, Father Marquette, which was a very important father for us because he was really working a lot with all the native groups in the area. He founded a mission in the United States across the river, and that mission stayed there to this day. Very important. He was the first Catholic Jesuit mission was founded by Father Marquette in 1668. Father Marquette went on, and today you have a town in the States the United States that have his name. So, of course, throughout 1670, you have a continuous people, Jesuits that are come here. And what do we do when we come in the area? We do pretty much always the same thing. We will establish missions, and we will talk to people. We will talk of Jesus to people. We will pray for the people, for physical ailments, for morality issues, for spiritual needs. Okay, we will also marry and baptize and console and advise people because we are an order where we are extremely well educated. So there's a continuous flow of people that are coming around. We're a major trade route. Remember, there's a mission across the river. There's a Jesuit mission across the river, and there are many other missions that will be established throughout the years around the Great Lakes area and around this area. In 1671, the French king, Louis XIV, will give out an edict that says that if France takes possession of all the land around the Great Lakes and around the upper Great Lakes area, which is very important because we were involved in mission and we're involved in the spiritual needs of people around that area, and that gives us even a more strong push to go in the field and really talk about the importance about being baptized and being with Jesus. Okay. Now, in the close of the 17th century, when talking about 17th century, we're talking about the late 1600s. So by this time, the trade routes are established. The canoe brigades are a common feature on the rivers and lakes and in the area, especially Sault Ste. Marie being part of a major trade route. We're right at the footstep of Lake Superior. We're at the corner of Lake Michigan. There's lots of activities. So the river that you see here today would have been busy with canoes, with brigades all the time. And in those canoes, you would find itinerant priests also. So you had the established Jesuits that lived in the missions. You also had the Jesuits that would go in the canoe and they would just follow the traders. And then when they did business for money, we would cater to the spiritual need. Okay, there's stories about eventually Métis people with mixed blood people that had been married to Native people and were from a white father, getting married in the way of the country. But when we came around, they came to see us and we married in the name of Jesus. Then we went. They had babies, but sometimes it took maybe 1 or 2, sometimes in 3 years before we came back to the same area. But they would have their kids, and when we came, they would all line up their kids, and we would baptize them, and one after the other. But they wait for us. In the meantime, they would live their native spirituality, the spirituality of the land. But when we came in, it was all about Jesus and all about the Catholic faith. Okay. So, let's see. Now, the other major event that will happen to our order. So eventually, you have a war in Europe where the British and France are fighting. The British sent a military contingent to North America, and they recruit people soldiers from the present United States, and they start to attack the major fort of the Quebec province. Eventually, they take Quebec City, and eventually they will take our base at, which is today, Montreal or Montreal. Well, and that will happen by 1760. The French are defeated. The British are now established in North America. Well, the British are not Catholic. The British are more Church of England, Anglican. What will the British decide? Well, the British will decide to tolerate Catholicism in North America, just to keep peace, not to create revolt. But they will edict that the Jesuits cannot recruit new members. Not good, because eventually we will grow in age. So the last Jesuit to die of old age is Jean-Joseph Cazotte, which died on March 16, 1800. So we will continue, even though the British are ruling the colony now, we'll continue our work. The British will tolerate us, but eventually we will die. We will die out. Now, the other thing that will happen throughout the world, so if that means that we will disappear from the area completely. And there's another phenomenon that will happen, another event that will happen, is that because we were so much in order that was working so closely with the Pope, there came a Pope that did not like us. So they sent an edict, called it the Suppression Edict of 1773, that says that the Order of the Jesus, Society of Jesus, just was dissolved. So for a block of time in the world, we were not there. As an order, we were just dissolved, did not exist. But then again, with the need of teaching the gospel to the non-native, the non-Christian people throughout the world, and another pope came in, and our order was revived. And the next priest, Jesuit priest that came was in what that came by the Sault Ste. area was in 1846. So between 1773 and 1846, we were there, not there. We did not exist as an order. Finally, the last of one of us died in 1800. So, but we did come back. We did come back in force, and we stayed in force until modern day time. Okay, well, to the point that in 1876, you have the founding or the cornerstone of the Sacred Heart Church is put in place. Means that today's Precious Blood Cathedral, that was the first name, the Church of Sacred Heart, on this side of the river. It was founded by us, by my order of Jesuit that came from across the river to the Canadian side. By this time, there was started to be enough people in our area to justify the founding of a church. We had little chapels since the Jesuits came in the beginning of the New France, and we have been present, but not to the point of creating a parish itself. Now, there was a lot of French people in the area, so by September 7, 1902, the cornerstone of the Saint Ignace parish was put there. So there was a French church that was created by the Jesuits, again, the American Jesuits, that created a French church in 1902. And that the Jesuits stayed here until present day, about 1970s, early 1980s. Then after that, we were a lot less present, and the stress of modern day, the lack of recruitment, made that we retreated to our seminaries and throughout the world, and mostly the Quebec province, and we were a lot less present in day-to-day life of people. So that is the story of my order and Sault Ste. Marie. May God bless you all. Merci.